up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maddison Hill, and yes, it's time for another Pop Off with Maddison. For today's Pop Off, you guys, we're going to be discussing the new trailer for the Kardashians Hulu show because holy moly, I now feel confident in saying that Mama Kris has absolutely been tapping into our conversations and hearing us say that we feel like the family's becoming irrelevant because this trailer is finally bringing us some freaking tea. I'm telling you, this new trailer is the complete opposite of the trailer Hulu released a couple weeks ago, which was a complete freaking snooze fest because in this trailer, you guys, there is so much happening. I'm gonna break down all of the biggest takeaways. We see Kim Kardashian cry over her breakup with Pete Davidson. We see her address her divorce from Kanye West. We're gonna see some major sister tension between Kim and Kourtney and things that happened at her wedding. We all know that Kim and Kourtney are no strangers to having some sisterly tension, but this season, it looks like things are definitely coming to a head. We're also gonna see Khloe talk about her health scare, and more importantly, it looks like we're gonna see freaking Tristan Thompson make an appearance. You guys, I swear this show is just laying the groundwork for Khloe and Tristan's reconciliation, and I cannot wait to discuss this with you guys. We also see Kendall and Kylie make a little appearance as well. You know that they don't always bring as much to the show as the older sisters, but they do make a small appearance in the trailer, so I'll fill you in on what you need to know about Kendall and Kylie. So yeah, you guys, there is just a lot that we need to get into here when it comes to this new Kardashians trailer, and I cannot wait to dive into it with you. Plus, I also know your time when we're approaching the weekend is very precious, so I'm not gonna waste any more of it, and we're just gonna get straight to unwrapping these Kardashians facts. Okay, so as I previously mentioned, Hulu officially dropped a new trailer for season 3 of the Kardashians. This third season is going to premiere on May 25th. And also, like I briefly mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is not the first trailer that Hulu has dropped to tease this third season. They actually dropped a trailer a couple of weeks ago, and you probably didn't even hear about it because it really didn't make headlines, you guys. It was so incredibly boring. We also didn't talk about it here because, again, it was incredibly boring. I honestly saw that first trailer and thought that this new season of the Kardashians was going to bring absolutely nothing. And I also kind of felt like it was contributing to the conversations that we've already been having here in the House of Hill. Are the Kardashians on their way to a downfall? Are the Kardashians on their way to becoming irrelevant? Are we starting to care about them a lot less? Like, you guys know that we've been starting to kind of have these conversations here. And while I still think that the Kardashians are on a little bit of a decline compared to where they have been in years past, I will say this new trailer is shooting them back up on the incline, you guys, because holy moly, like I've said, there is a lot of tea to get into here. So the first big takeaway that we need to talk about when it comes to this trailer is Kim Kardashian. So the trailer kicks off and Kim admits that where the show left off last time was, you know, she was in a relationship with Pete Davidson. However, she admits that she is no longer in a relationship. Now, of course, this is not new information that Kim is no longer dating Pete Davidson. We've all been knowing this. Remember, whenever the news broke of their breakup, a source told Entertainment Tonight that essentially they were going their separate ways because of their busy schedules and how the spark between them had faded. We also kind of knew that the writing was on the wall for Kim and Pete because Pete was out here doing interviews talking about how he wanted kids of his own one day. Kim already has 4 kids and she has not made any mention of wanting to have any more. So we knew that eventually, because these two wanted different things in their futures, that they would have to break up. But still, it is heartbreaking to see Kim talk about it, and it is even more heartbreaking to see her have a very emotional moment with Khloe, presumably about her breakup with Pete Davidson. Go ahead and take a look.
You okay?
No. Aww. Not okay. I'm having such a hard day today.
So that's big takeaway number 1 when it comes to Kim, her addressing her relationship with Pete. The second big takeaway when it comes to Kim, you guys, is that it does actually appear as though she is going to address her divorce from Kanye West. We see a producer mention to Kim that her divorce is finalized. We also see Kendall talk about how she doesn't know how Kim handles everything with her ex-husband. It does look like they are not saying Kanye West's name. I don't know if that's something legal or what, but so far in the trailer, we have not seen anyone in the family use his actual name. I just thought that that was a little interesting tidbit. Later on in the trailer, we also see Kim having a conversation with Kris where she says, quote, "He has made up the most insane narrative." And then we see Kim get emotional, you know, talking about how her and her family never respond to the lies that Kanye puts out there because she's trying to protect her kids. And I have to admit, in this moment, I did feel for Kim because she has done several interviews where she has talked about the extreme lengths that she goes to make sure that her kids never hear a negative thing about their dad. And because we know Kanye West does love social media, yes, he's being quiet right now, but we know that he does love to use social media to get his thoughts out there. I find it very impressive that Kim is able to shield her kids from any negativity about Kanye. And you can see that it takes a toll on her. And I will say, I did feel for her in that moment. I know Kim is not innocent. I know Kanye is not innocent, but I still felt for her on a human level when I saw her getting emotional, talking about protecting her kids against things that people say about Kanye. I also am curious to see if we're going to see the family mention Kanye West having a commitment ceremony with that woman, Bianca Sensory. Remember, this is the woman that he is running around wearing a wedding ring for. We do know that North has spent time with Bianca and Kanye, so I am just curious to see if that whole situation is going to be mentioned on the show. I'm thinking no, just based on how they're not even saying Kanye's name, but I'm curious about it, so I'm hoping that it gets brought up. Now, moving on to the next big takeaway from this trailer that does still involve Kim, the tension between her and Kourtney. You guys, so as you all know, because we saw it all over social media, we also saw Kourtney and Travis's wedding special. Actually, no, we didn't. I don't think anyone was tuning into that, but for those of us who, you know, caught the highlights on social media from Kourtney and Travis's wedding, we all knew that it very much looked as though Kourtney and Travis's wedding was one big Dolce & Gabbana commercial. And I think the rest of the public all thought before this trailer that the entire family was in on this Dolce & Gabbana partnership. The whole family was here for the wedding being essentially a Dolce & Gabbana ad. I thought that that was all peachy keen. However, you guys, thanks to this trailer, we know that everything was actually very far from being peachy keen because Kourtney accuses Kim of using her wedding as a quote business opportunity. And I'm telling you, you guys, the tension between Kim and Kourtney looks like it is going to be a major freaking plot point this season, because then later on in the trailer we see Kim ask Khloe if Kourtney is really mad, and Khloe says that she's livid. We also see Kendall and Kylie discussing it. Kendall mentions how Kourtney feels like, you know, her bride vibes were stripped away from her. Then her and Kylie say that they can kind of see both sides of the argument. Kim, of course, thinks that she has done nothing wrong. She says she doesn't even know where Kourtney came up with this narrative in her head. Kim claims that she was mindful of Kourtney and her feelings, but then, you guys, Kourtney makes a major character assassination against Kim. In this trailer, Kourtney says, quote, "People think it's a misunderstanding, but it's not. It's who she is to her core," which I think is just absolutely savage, because essentially she's calling Kim one of the most selfish people ever. Then the next big takeaway, you guys, from this trailer obviously has to do with Khloe. Like I mentioned, we're going to see Khloe discuss her melanoma scare. We're going to see the incision that was made on her cheek, which I'm never going to talk ish on somebody shedding light on the fact that, you know, we should be doing annual skin checks. We should be wearing our sunscreen. We should be very mindful of things going on in our body and going to the doctor when something isn't right. I will never talk ish on that, so I am happy that Khloe is bringing light to that. However, the thing that I am going to talk ish on is the fact that Tristan Thompson's face is even in this freaking trailer. I mean, the audacity this man has to show his face in this family's reality show, given everything that he has put Khloe through. I mean, you have to hand it to him. His ego has to be so freaking huge. And I know I'm kind of going off about this, and I do have to admit, he's in a very, very small part of the trailer. And what we do see of Tristan is, you know, Chris asking Khloe, you know, how's Tristan? What's going on with Tristan? And then we see Khloe out to dinner with Scott, and he kind of asks what's happening between them. And Khloe makes a comment about how Tristan is hoping that they can kind of just ride this situation out, the situation being his paternity scandal. However, then Khloe says that no more chances. And not to quote Khloe while talking about Khloe, but liar! Oh, you guys, I just feel like the reason why I'm so annoyed by this and why I'm just so frustrated at hearing Khloe in the trailer be like, no more chances, is because you all know we have a theory that Khloe and Tristan have already reconciled, and there's a lot of evidence to back that theory up. Just go check out any of my most recent pop-offs about Khloe and Tristan. So to hear her in this trailer act like she is not about to give this man another freaking chance is just kind of annoying to me as a viewer. And then as far as any other major takeaways, you guys, nothing really with Kendall. No shocker there. We do see Kylie admit to her friend Stassi that she wishes she would have never touched anything on her face. Remember that Kylie has admitted to getting, you know, injections in her lips and her face. So it looks like she is having some regrets about that situation now that she has a daughter of her own. And we also hear Kylie kind of pose the question to her sisters about how they need to be more aware of the body standards and the body images that they're putting out there to the public, which I was actually very impressed to hear Kylie say that. And then the last thing I want to point out, you guys, is actually a quote that Kourtney says says towards the end of the trailer, and I want to point this out to you because I think it actually is pretty telling in regards to the future of the Kardashians and the Kardashian show. She's talking to Khloe, and Kourtney says, quote, "We know how to have fun together. We know how to be there for each other, but only on a superficial level." And Khloe is clearly taken aback whenever Kourtney says this, but I'm not gonna lie, that shocked me because you know the one thing about the Kardashians is they always try to put this narrative out there that they are a tight family, they are thick as thieves, like they always have each other's back, and I feel like Kourtney is kind of just destroying that whole persona with this one line, which really shook me. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. And then we see Khloe say, you know, Kim and Kourtney's tension goes way back. We see Kris talk about how anxious she is about the situation going on in the family, and then the trailer ends with Kylie saying, "I don't think everything is going to be okay." Whew. Okay, you guys, those were the major takeaways you need to know from the trailer, and I know I've been sprinkling in my opinion throughout this entire thing, which, you know, sometimes that just happens, but we are still going to make this pop-up official because I have a few more things I want to give you guys my opinion on, so let's go ahead and get to that shambong. Okay, you guys, so when it comes to Kim and Kourtney's tension, I think that's the thing I'm most interested to see, even more than Khloe and Tristan's potential reconciliation, which I'll get into my theories on that in a second. But the reason why I'm really interested to see this tension between Kim and Kourtney is because I feel like this is the first time that we're hearing that there was any tension around Kourtney's wedding. Again, I thought everybody was on the same page about the wedding appearing to be a Dolce & Gabbana ad, but clearly not. And Kourtney has been waiting for this special day for years, you guys. She has never married. So I totally understand her frustration with Kim trying to take over her wedding. If I had been waiting for my wedding for so many years of my life through a toxic relationship, I finally found my Prince Charming, I was ready for my moment, and one of my sisters was trying to overshadow my moment by, you know, doing a little business deal on the side, I would also be pissed. So I feel like Kourtney, at least from the trailer, definitely has room to be upset with Kim. And I also feel like the fact that Kourtney is already making major character assassinations against Kim in the trailer tells me that things are definitely gonna get heated. And yes, we've obviously seen things get heated between Kim and Kourtney before. Hello, we all remember when they were fighting in Khloe's house. However, this time around, their tension just feels different to me because I feel like they have less incentive to make peace, if that makes sense. Like, Kourtney has her own family, she has Travis, she has all of her kids, his kids. I feel like they're kind of their own unit over here. And Kim obviously also has her own family going on. Kim also openly admitted earlier this week that she's cool to retire from reality television and just pursue law full time. I kind of feel like this tension between Kim and Kourtney this season could potentially dramatically change the dynamics of the show and the dynamics of the Kardashian family as a whole. Now, as far as Khloe is concerned, obviously I was worried about her health scare. It sounds like it was actually much more serious than she initially posted about on social media, so I do applaud her for opening up about that on the show, and I'm happy that she is seemingly on the mend and getting better from that situation. But in regards to this whole Tristan Thompson situation, my theory is at the beginning of the season, we're gonna see Tristan Thompson being that upstanding father that Khloe keeps claiming that he is. I think we're gonna see him be there for the kids, be there for Khloe during her health scare. We are just gonna see this man be an upstanding freaking citizen. I think the producers are going to paint him in the best light as possible. We're probably gonna see him go through the loss of his mother, which I still maintain is a very tragic situation. I would never wish that on anyone, but I think we're going to see him go through that. I think we're going to see Khloe be there for him. I think we're going to see Tristan have this major transformation. And while he's having this transformation, and while, you know, they're painting him as a good picture, we're going to see Khloe telling everyone that no, they're not going to reconcile. No, Tristan gets no more chances. No, nothing's happening. But then, you guys, towards the end of the season, probably right conveniently timed at the season finale, we're going to see a romantic moment go down between Khloe and Tristan. And I think that's going to lay the groundwork for these two going public about their reconciliation. But yeah, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because I know I've been rambling a lot during this pop-off. My final thoughts are that this trailer just completely sucked me in. I'm hoping that this season lives up to the hype. I'm hoping that this season does live up to this trailer because I think this will be a very crucial season for the Kardashians. I think this season will really really determine whether or not this show is as successful as Keeping Up with the Kardashians, or if this show is kind of the start of the Kardashians' continued decline. I think this season is just going to be very crucial for the show, for the family, and I am here to tell you that I will be tuning in. If you don't feel like tuning in, no harm, no foul. That just means that whenever any tea happens, you don't have to watch because I will, and I'll just sit right here and fill you in on it. So I'll save you an hour of your life. All right, you guys, that's the latest I have for you when it comes to the Kardashians. I want to hear all of your thoughts and feels down below. While you guys are at it, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button, and don't forget that notification bell. For more content, make sure you follow me over on Instagram and TikTok, and of course, don't forget to keep coming back here to check out my YouTube shorts. If you guys want to show me a little extra love, or you just want to make sure I see your comment, don't forget you can also hit that super thanks button down below. You guys can also check out all of my merch over at my merch store at houseofhill.com. And on that note, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.